Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Followers of the four, our loved ones, we're greeting you all. We hope that all of you are fine. Maybe okay. I feel no, it's in the TRC. Like your hope is 2024 at the positive vibe and at the bebre. Relax, man. How don't worry yourself much. People are saying so many things. People who are making predictions, people who are making prophecies and all, whatever they did, whatever they said, don't worry. The prophecies, the predictions, don't worry. Just be yourself. Just be on top of your game and things will be fine. Yet yacha mo nyina mo a mo ye your loved ones. Mo follow ye a mo gi message ni tum e kom ye mo pensem mo say no be bia eda no eda ye no. Yet yacha mo nyina we are greeting you. You are doing a great job. Most especially those of you who share the message. You guys are very brave, very brave. There is this lady who does not joke with sharing the videos. There are more of you. We can't mention all of you. There are more of you, but when we mention some of you, it's just like for encouragement. Somebody like Amina Sani is always sharing our videos. Jennifer Atta, hello my dear. At the same, me did this on here. Hajia Turash. I greet all of you. You guys are really brave. My big brother Emmanuel Achampong, all the way from Osekrum, Otikokosu Krum. Me chiachiao. Edi ba kono me nyamboy one day me bonu and I was saying me chiamu nyina Alkamada Zulkifil, all these big people that are really appreciating the message. We greet you, we adore you, we respect you. Thank you very much for making our platform one of the active platforms in this time of Aquarius. We thank you very much. Free thinker. Thank you. I'm greeting you. I hope you watched the previous video concerning the family of Prophet Muhammad, the great parent of Prophet Muhammad. We spoke about to put them together, and we told you that today this particular episode is gonna center on Hashim and Abdul Mutalib. These are the people, because Hashim gave birth to so many children. Among the children is Abdul Mutalib, and then Mutalib gave birth to Prophet Muhammad's father and his brothers. This particular episode will also take us a long way to somewhere to speak about this miraculous water. People think it is known as Zamzam. Yes. Now, let's start with Hashim. Hashim, among the other children, Abdul Shams and all those people, Hashim and Abdul Muza and co. Hashim is the one that the father left him with, the Asikaya and Rifada, the accommodation of the Hajj, the pilgrimage people, and giving them water. Hashim has a lot of great works he has done for the people of Makkah. One of the great works is that there was a time when famine hit Makkah. Famine hit Makkah. They call it Sana or Qaht or Jadb. Hit Makkah some time ago, and Hashim went to, actually his name is Amr. So Hashim went to Syria, got money, brought a lot of khubz, bread. You know that their bread is not like our bread, but because it is made just like the way we do our bread here, that is why they call it bread. If not, that time their bread is not like our bread. Mostly they do it some kind of round one like that, not like our own, but they call it khubz. He went to bring a lot of them from Syria. They don't know how he got the money. Where he got the money from, he brought it, and then he break the bread into pieces and put it in big pans, and then he allow his people to slaughter some of his camels. Hashim is not rich. Hashim is not rich, but he's trading, so he has a little. So he break the bread into pieces, and then he slaughter some of his camels, and they use it to feed the people, or he used it to feed the people of Makkah for some days. Some say for 2 days, some say for 3 days, some say for 4 days, some even say he fed them for 1 week. Now, breaking the bread into pieces, in Arabic they say Hasham al-Khubz, to break bread. Their own is the round one, and it is hard. It is hard. So you break it into pieces, like you crush it. You crush it into pieces, and then they prepare the stew. So you fetch the stew, pour it on the bread with the meat, and then you'll be eating the bread with the meat as well, with the stew. So when you break the bread like that in Arabic, they call it Hashama. That is where they call him Hashim. That's where he got the name Hashim. The one who broke bread into pieces and put it in a plenty basins and pans for people to come and eat. So when he did this, the counterpart, the family counterpart, the other gate, he and Abdul Shams and the children of Abdul Shams are from the same father but different mothers. So when he did that, Abdul Shams' elder son, who is known as Umayyah, got annoyed because Umayyah is more richer than Hashim. So he got angry. So he decided to do the same thing. He tried to do the same thing, but he could not. For whatever reason, we do not know. But he couldn't do it. The books didn't mention. He couldn't do it. So because he couldn't do it, he picked the fight and quarrels with Hashim, Amr. Now in the quarrel, some elders of the town decided to settle the issue amicably. So they called both of them, and then there was like, fine, it is about leadership. Umayyah is thinking that he has money and he has a lot of children who are men. So most of his children are men. So he thinks he's supposed to be the leader in Makkah. But he's like, Hashim wants to take the leadership from him. So they said, okay, let's go to a soothsayer to settle the case. So they went to the soothsayer, and the soothsayer said, fine, the gods are saying that anybody that can slaughter 50 camels to feed people of Makkah will take the leadership. And you that will fail not to do it, if you are not able to do it, you that is competing, if you are competing for the leadership, if you couldn't do it, then you should leave the town, or you should shut up. Don't talk about leadership again. So Hashim is able to get the 50 camels to feed his people. So when that thing happened, Umayyah, Abdul Shams' child Umayyah, left Makkah and go to Sham and stay at Sham for 10 years, because like some kind of Nenegua. So he left Makkah and go. That is the first beginning of the enmity between Banu Umayyah and Banu Hashim. Later in Islam, the descendants of these two people killed each other, and the fight was very, very bloody. So this is one of the works of Hashim. Now, Hashim went to Medina, Yathrib, for a trade, and he saw a beautiful lady over there, and he asked of the lady, and they told him the lady was married, but now she's not married, she's single now. He proposed to the lady, and the lady agreed to accept his proposals, and he married the lady, stayed with the lady at Yathrib, which is Medina today, stayed with the lady for some time. After staying with the lady some times, and then the lady gave birth. The lady gave birth to a baby child. The baby child was born with a gray hair on the head. It happens. Some of us got our gray hair at a tender age. Some were born with it. So that particular baby boy, which was born to Hashim with the Medina or Yathrib lady, the child was born with a gray hair, and then they named the child Shayba. Now in Arabic language, Shayb is gray hair. Shayb is a gray hair. Shin, Yaw, Ba. Shayb is a gray hair. So when the boy came with gray hair, the baby came with gray hair. They created a name out of the Shayb, and then they named him Shayba. Shaybatu, that is the name, but you can't say Shaybatu because Arabic language, you don't call the last letter if you want to stop there. So you say Shayba. So they gave him the name Shayba because of the gray hair. And this is how they name. They name according to their culture, they name according to circumstances and events surrounding the birth of the child and the pregnancy, and what the mother is seeing and what the mother observed about the pregnancy. That's how they name. So these Arab names you are using for yourself, you should be careful. You don't just pick Arab names and put yourself just like that, because it has implications. So you should be careful. In fact, if you can just use your African name, use the name in your dialect, that will better. That will keep your identity. That's just by the way. So he named the boy Shayba. So from Medina or Yathrib, Hashim traveled to Sham to do business, and also moved to Palestine, somewhere in Gaza, to do business. And then he died on the way. He couldn't get back to Yathrib, not to talk of coming back to his homeland, Mecca. He died. So he was buried, and then his belongings and his properties was brought back to the woman, his wife, at Yathrib or at Medina. So this is how Hashim's life is. So when before Hashim left to Medina for the business trip, he left everything behind for his brother, his younger brother, who is known as Mutalib. That is the name of the younger brother of Hashim. Now, there was after the death of Hashim, there was a time that some people came from Yathrib, from Medina. They came to Mecca. Some people say they came for business. Some people say they came for Hajj. When they came, one of them knew Mutalib, and he approached Mutalib and greeted him and told him that, if you see how old your brother's son has grown, when Mutalib heard that, Mutalib said, what? If that is the case, I think I have to go bring my brother's son to his homeland, to Mecca. We are doing this into pieces so that you know, because we are getting closer to the birth of Prophet Muhammad. Now, so he says, I think I have to go get my brother's son. And the man told him that, I don't think the woman will give the child to you, because even though she has so many children, but she doesn't joke with this Shayba, because Shayba is one of the one of good young boys that one can love to be with. So I don't think the mother will give him to you. And Mutalib says, I don't have a problem. He's our son. So she done not to tell me she will not give him to me. So Mutalib prepared and went to Medina, saw the woman. The woman actually didn't want to give Shayba to his uncle. Shayba, Mutalib spoke with Shayba and they became fine. They spoke and everything. The woman kept Mutalib in Medina almost 3 days. The 4th day or 3 days, the 3rd day, Mutalib says, no, I have to take my brother's son to his people. So after intense argument, she allowed Mutalib to take Shayba to Mecca. Now, upon the entrance of Mutalib and Shayba in Mecca, something happened. What happened? When they entered Mecca, all the people in Mecca, the elders in Mecca, the opinion leaders in Mecca were sitting around Kaaba, and they saw Mutalib with the young man entering the city of Mecca. Then what they could think of is that Mutalib went to buy a slave. Now, why is it so? Slave trade is a phenomenon. It's very rampant. in their community. So when one travels out of Mecca or out of Arabian Peninsula and comes back with a different person, not with the people he traveled with, and comes back with a different person, that person automatically they know is a slave. It means he has bought the slave, or in any case, he has gotten a slave, or someone has gifted him a slave. Obia Chanakwa. Like seriously. So when they saw the son of Mutalib's brother, who is Hashim, they thought Mutalib bought a slave. And then they start saying that, this is Abdul Mutalib, Mutalib's slave. Mutalib's slave. So when Mutalib approached them, and then they asked him, where did you get a handsome slave to buy like this? And he says, what do you mean? He's not a slave. He is my brother Hashim's son. My late brother Hashim, that is the son who is at Medina. So I went to brought him. So he's not my slave, but yet the name Abdul Mutalib remained. The young man who is known as Shayba now became Abdul Mutalib. The word Abd means slave. So Mutalib is the name of the person. Abdul Mutalib, the servant, the slave of Mutalib. So Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Abdul Latif, Abdul Fatah, Abdul Razak, all these Abdul, it means slave. So Abdul Fatah means the slave of Fatah. Abdullah, the slave of Abdullah, the slave of Allah. Abdul Shams, the slave of sun. And that's how the name. So instead of the name Shayba, now the Abdul Mutalib became his name. So Abdul Mutalib is what is known in Mecca right now. So this Abdul Mutalib was with Mutalib, the uncle. Now the uncle is the one responsible of the taking care of the pilgrimage in terms of water supply, and also in terms of what? In terms of water supply, and in terms of accommodation. So this is what Mutalib has been doing, and Mutalib also passed on, and then he left the job of the water supply and accommodation of the pilgrimage in the hands of his brother's son, who is Abdul Mutalib, originally known as Shayba. Now, Abdul Mutalib in early stage had only one son, that is known, who is known as Harith or Haris. That is the first son of Abdul Mutalib. Now, in terms of accommodation of the pilgrimage, is somehow easy. But with the water supply, it's hard, because all the wells that are in Mecca and around Mecca is far away. So what they do is that when it is time, or when Hajj is approaching, then they will get big drums and fill the drums with water. And the wells that they fetch the water from are a little bit far. So it is very tough for them, because he has only one child. So it is this boy that helps him to fetch the water. And also another youth around Mecca. But for them, he has to pay them. He has to pay them, and also take care of accommodation of the people who come to pilgrimage. So it becomes some kind of challenge. So he was thinking about it, and it is really giving him headache. But Abdul Mutalib was managing it like that. You wouldn't manage it, because it's not easy with him, but he is managing it. So it's hard for him, but he's still managing it. But he was one day he was sitting there and he remembered that before his Quraysh clan came to Mecca, there was a will in Mecca which the Banu Jurhum, the original establishers of the Mecca town, were using. But when the Quraysh overcome the Banu Jurhum and the Banu Jurhum left Mecca, on their way, before they leave Mecca, this is what they did. They went and covered the way. Because they feel like the will is for them. They were the people who found the town, the Mecca town, and the will belongs to them. When Quraysh overcame them and took the town from them, they couldn't stay with Quraysh, so they left. On their way, they covered the way with the desert sand. But their leader, who covered the way, feels like one day they will definitely come back because the town belongs to them. So upon covering the wheel, he put two saws in it. He put the saws in a times form. He crossed the sword like the way we write times. So that's how he did it. And then he added some little gold to it, and then covered, and then put another antelope, golden statue of antelope, which is made with gold, which symbolizes one of their deities. And then he dropped about 2 or 3 in the whale, and then they covered the whale with the desert sand. Now, Abdul Mutalib, struggling to supply water to pilgrimage and also accommodation, thought of this whale and said, I remember very well that there was a whale here and the whale was covered. Ebula no yakata so, but na ebula waha. And ebula no ben. Ebula no ebe kaba. Nti anka mitumi nya bebie no wo na mitua. Anka no beboa me ama ejuma no be easy. If I'm able to see where the whale is and I am able to dig it, then the whale will help me to supply water easily without struggling. So this is what has been what has been in the memory of Abdul Mutalib for a long time. And then, according to the account, if you go to Tabakat, if you go to Asir wal Magazi, if you go to Asirat al-Nabawiyya ibn Hisham, all these things are there. Then one day he had a dream. Abdul Mutalib says he had a dream that someone was telling him that the Zamzam, the whale, this particular whale we are talking about that Abdul Mutalib is talking about, is the whale known as Zamzam. Is the whale known as Zamzam. Now, Abdul Mutalib said, according to the books, that he had a dream that someone is telling him that he should go dig the whale of Zamzam. He should go dig the whale of Zamzam. Now, he didn't know. In Ibn Hisham's book, Asiratul Nabawiyah to be precise, he went to tell his townsmen that I had a dream that I should dig the Zamzam well. And they said, Zamzam well has been covered for a long time. Do you know where Zamzam well is? Well, if the dream you had is from Allah, then the dream will come again. The message will come again. But if it is not from Allah, it will only come once and that's all. Now, all those days that Islam is not even there, they know the word Allah. Now, Mubo Allah din. So omu ya abosomsoɔ na omu ya abosomsomfoɔ na omu bɔ Allah dino. Allah ni ya Allah benya. I don't know whether you are getting the point. Allah ni ya Allah ben. Which Allah are they talking about here? Anyway, let's continue. So, according to the account, Abdul Mutalib went to sleep and he had the same dream. And he asked in the dream that, where is the Zamzam well? And the answer came that Zamzam well no ever between Abusum menu ayefre baako Isaf ayefre baako na ila ewo Safa ni Marwa amanfo ko haja omunam bipo ni ntem Safa ni Marwa ntem no eni Abusum na ayefre ni Isaf ni na ila no ntem. Say ewo na ewo dia, then that is where they slaughter their sacrificial animals during Hajj. Bebiana omu slaughter omu sacrificial animals during Hajj no eye bebiana will no. So they slaughter the animals on top of the Zamzam well because they slaughter their animals between the two idols, Isaf and Na'ila, which is on the mountains of Safa and Marwa, which up to date, if you go to Hajj, you have to go walk between the two mountains. So in the dream, he was told that the wheel is between Isaf and Na'ila, where they slaughter their sacrificial animals. And he also told him that the sacrificial animals where they slaughter is always there's a vulture there. So he was told in the dream that what will let you know that the place is where we are telling you, when you go there to dig it, you see a vulture there. That vulture is always there. Every day the vulture will come and stand there. So when you go, you see a vulture. The right exact point where the vulture will be, that is where the whale is. Hold and behold, Abdul Mutalib took, the next day, he took his pickers and went there, that's what they said, two pickers, and called his son Harith, the firstborn Harith, and told him that, follow me and let's go dig Zamzam. So when they got there, truly, he saw the vulture standing there. And he said, this place the vulture is standing is the exact point where we slaughter our sacrificial animals. And I was told in the dream that where we slaughter our sacrificial animals, when we pour the blood of our sacrificial animals, is the exact place where the whale Zamzam is. So that is where we're gonna dig. So when they got closer, the vulture flew away, and then Abdul Mutalib and the son Al-Harith, who was the only son of the man at that time, start to dig the well of Zamzam. Brethren, it is getting interesting. Follow me in the next video for me to tell you what exactly is Zamzam. Where is Zamzam coming from? Is it miraculous the way they claim? Until we meet again, I say to you, bye-bye.